Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have a awesome little video planned up for y'all. It's going to be like a little two-part series, but we're just going to condense it all into one video. As you guys know, I'm tagged out on bucks here in Oklahoma, so we kind of have the late season. We all three just got on our Christmas break, so we got a month to kind of play around. We're going to do a deer camp for y'all. We're going to do a couple doe videos, shooting does. Today we're actually going to do a throwback video, and it's going to be over my Ruckus. So I'll go grab it off the shelf. This is my first ever bow. I got this bow when I was about like 6 or 7 years old. Started shooting tournaments with this bow when I was 7 years old. Went to my first ASA in Paris, Texas, and then shot this bow up until I was about 12 years old. But I shot my first ever deer with a bow just like this, but it was black with camo limbs as a Ruckus. I shot when I was 7 years old. It was a little buck. I actually have it mounted, so that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, my dad sold that bow years and years ago, so we can't do a throwback with that bow. But we're going to do a throwback video with this bow, so we're going to be working on it for y'all today. I don't even know when's the last time I shot this bow. No idea how many pounds it is. Just looking here at the mods, it's 23-inch draw, which obviously won't work. So we're going to do a setup, and then hopefully within the next few days we get a right wind for the spot we got a bunch of does coming into, and going to try shooting a doe with it. All right, I just got the mods changed from 23 inches to 27 inches. The bow was already maxed out. I believe the max it can be is 50 pounds on these limbs, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to grab the Last Chance Archery. We're going to see. Well, the draw weight feels actually pretty decent. Okay, so it's right at 50 pounds with 15 pounds of holding weight, so quite a bit of holding weight for a little Ruckus, but 50 pounds should be plenty to kill a deer. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the setup. Just by drawing it back, I can tell the timing's a little off. I think the top cam is hitting before, so we're going to go put it in the hooter shooter, figure out what we need to do, twist up the cables, but first we're going to slap a sight on it. Not sure what stabilizer deal this is going on. It's whatever little 8-year-old Colby had going on with it. So this bow already has a trophy taker arrow rest, so probably just going to leave that on, honestly, even though it is a lizard tongue. I'm going to have to find arrows that have 3 fletchings, because my main hunting arrows are 300 spine, 4 fletchings, which obviously is some overkill. And I don't really like shooting 4 fletchings out of a lizard tongue, but this sight, pretty cool. This is the first ever sight I ever had. I shot my buck when I was 7 with this exact sight, and actually shot all my deer up until the last about 4 or 5 years with this sight. So this sight's taken a lot of deer. It's just a spot hog, Tommy hog. I don't even think this exact model's made. I think it's been remastered, but pretty cool. There's a lens in it. I think it's a 2-power lens. I have no idea. I just pulled the sight out from underneath the table. But I do have an LP light we're going to slap on there too. Just put some fresh batteries in this right before we started videoing. Made sure it all worked, and it did. Go ahead, slap the sight on here. All right, well, we got the sight on. Probably not going to do too much of a so-and-so sight tape. We're going to pour some corn pretty close to the ground line, so hopefully it's like a little 15 to 20 yard shot where it's pretty easy. Get that in there. All right, we just put the light on there. It's all looking pretty good. Haven't put a level on nothing yet, and this D-loop's fraying pretty bad. I might have to redo the D-loop, but this is kind of the setup we have so far. Light works pretty good. It's 50 pounds, 27-inch draw. Now the next goal is to find what arrow I'm going to be shooting out of this, and to find some broadheads. I think Dad has some fixed blade broadheads laying around he said I could use when we mentioned doing this video to him, so that's the setup so far. This thing feels real little, but I mean at one time this was the chips for me. This was all I used, so it's kind of bringing back some memories of young Colby. I just turned 22 today, and shooting this bow, 15 years ago when I harvested my first deer. Kind of full circle moment. Just super blessed to be able to progress in the hunting industry and archery industry as much as I've been able to do. So kind of cool, but we'll get back to working on this bow. In the meantime, I'm going to find some arrows, and then we'll kind of show you all the arrow setup, the broadhead setup, and then we'll get to the finer parts of tuning the bow and sighting of the bow. Alright, well, I found 2 arrows. They had some old crappy fletchings on them, so I cut the fletchings off. I cut the arrows down like an inch a piece, so it's not super long. I'm about to refletch them. I'm going to do 3 fletchings. I think I'm going to try to find a little bigger fletching so it just lets the arrow fly a little better, since I'll be using a fixed blade. So let's find some fletchings and fletch them up. Alright, we are putting some fletchings, found some fletchings that'll do. Been a minute since I fletched arrows, so we're going to see if I still know how to do this. I'll wipe the excess off on this. Then I like to hold the back and the front of the arrow, just kind of pinch it with my fingers, as you can see I'm doing here. Just kind of to ensure it gets that first good contact. I like to hold it for about 10 seconds before I let go. Kind of go down it a couple times with my finger. Then I just kind of hold it on here like this for about 30 total seconds, and then get on to the next one. Well, we got digging around, and luckily we found 2 fixed blade broadheads. No idea what brand these are. It don't say on here. It just says that they're aerodynamic and replaceable blade cartridges. So we're going to see if they're sharp. Going to see how many grains they are. I kind of wouldn't mind if they're 80 grains, to be honest, because the arrows are going to be like 430 if they're 100 grain. So we're going to go ahead and weigh this. We're going to be right at 440, so plenty heavy. Should be plenty of penetration. Pretty cool. But we're going to kind of fix up the peep. I'm not sure why it looks like it does, but it's not even shootable right now because it's not straight at all. And we're going to fix up the D-loop. Might have to do a totally new D-loop on here, so we're going to see what that all involves. I think I can fix this D-loop to make it workable without having to totally tie a new one on. Possibly. The ends over the years have kind of unraveled. I think I got it where it's shootable. Oh yeah, that's gonna be perfect. No knock pinch at all. You even got a little separation, so that'll be perfect. We're gonna go ahead and check to see how level this. Everything should be perfectly level on it because, like I said, it's been a long time since I shot this bow, but I know when it was last shot, everything was good and level on it. So first, I'll get the bow itself level. How you do that? You just get that level like so. And I put this about 3/4 of the way down, and that's actually perfect. So that's good news. That's perfectly level, perfectly zeroed. So we're going to put this in the press right here. I'm going to fix this peep. Not real sure why it's like that, and probably going to undo all this from the old peep. I don't know exactly what we need to do to the peep yet, but before we do anything to the peep to get it good, I need to fix the timing. I know the timing on this bow is off. Gonna fix the timing and the hooter shooter, and after we do that, might even shoot it through paper once, but I'm not really concerned about the paper because, like I said, this bow is gonna be shot, sighted in maximum 30 yards, so I'm not gonna shoot a deer unless it's like 25 or under. So we're gonna go outside and show you how to, I guess, get the timing right on a Hoyt Ruckus. Well, coming out here, about to put on the hooter shooter, but first, I kind of got curious what it'd feel like to shoot it. So we're here, we're like 6 or 7 yards away, and we're gonna shoot it. First shot through the Ruckus was a success. So we're gonna pull the arrow and put it on the hooter shooter, try to get the timing right. The timing definitely felt a little off, but kind of cool. First shot through the Ruckus. All right, we got it on the hooter shooter. Draw it back now. All right, so we're getting close to what we're going to be looking for. I don't know if you guys can see this real well, but you can see the cable right here, and then you can see right here is the back of this module. You can see it down here also. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to get the string to hit on the top and bottom of that module to make contact at the same exact time. It's okay if the top's hitting a little before, so they look actually pretty close. I think they're actually really good, actually. The bottom is hitting a smidge before the top is. So we're going to take that to the press. I think that'll only be like one twist in the cable. So we're going to go ahead, let this down, take it into the press, and put a twist in it. And that should solve it. We'll bring it back out here and just double check. All right, so since the bottom was hitting before the top, we're going to put this in the press, and we got this bottom cable here. We're going to put a twist into this cable. So we're going to try full twist first. That should get it hitting about directly. And we're going to take it back outside, put it in the hooter shooter, and double check our work. If anything, the peep needs to be lowered. Usually I don't like to lower peep unless it's in a press, but for what we're doing with these old strings and only going to be using this bow, I'm just going to move it slightly lower, like so. Even after all these years, this string has zero, and you can see when I'm drawing it back, the string has zero rotation in the peep. It's not bad at all. If you guys come here, you can see it's this top tear, and it's got a slight left tear where the arrow is coming in at an angle like this, but it's nothing to be too worried about. So we're going to go back to 20 and start sighting it in. Surprisingly, that was pretty good. Perfect. We're going to shoot it once like at 15 and maybe once at 10. Just make sure it still hits the same as it does at 20, but I think the Hoyt Ruckus is blind ready. I think we're about ready to put this thing to the test and try shooting a doe with it. So stay tuned. Well, we finally got a north wind and we are at the spot. We've been wanting to come now for a while. Got the Ruckus in hand, so been wanting to do this video now for a while. Caden came up with the idea about a month ago and did the setup about 5-6 days ago and been waiting on a north wind to come and shoot a doe. This property's got a bunch of does and not that many bucks, so we're gonna try evening out the population a little bit, trying to get that buck to doe ratio that we really want. So we're here, finally, north wind. Got corn poured about 15 yards away, so hopefully the Ruckus will shoot a doe tonight, but it's pretty windy out right now. It's like 35, 40 mile per hour gust earlier in the day, but now we're in the evening, it's calmed down a lot. We're under 20, and it says that it's supposed to be like 10 miles per hour here in about an hour during sunset. So let's hope that a doe can come in and I can make a good shot on it with the Hoyt Ruckus and do a little throwback video for y'all. Go down. Come on, go down. It's got to be one lung for sure, right? Yeah, one lung for sure. Well, I just shot a doe with the Ruckus. She is standing up there, about 70 yards. Just hunched over. I for sure got one lung. I don't know how it wasn't two. The arrow blew through her, huh? Yeah, that's surprising. She's trying to bed. She's going down. Wait. I don't know what I'm watching. She just went down. I think she did. Well, she just went down. Is she bedding down? Or? I'm sure she's still alive. I don't think she's dead, but she'll die there. We don't spook her. That shot was a little bad, guys. I think it got a lung though, for sure.
I wasn't sure. Even after watching the video, I wasn't sure, but just watching her, she tried kind of taking some steps. I think it's definitely a lung. And she tried bedding down, but she just like fell over, but I'm sure she's bedded down right over there right now, so we are, I think we're just gonna wait here till it gets pitch black. Try to get out of here as quiet as possible. So, I think she's bedded down right there, so only 60 yards from where I shot her. We're just gonna just slip out of here super quietly here in about 30 minutes when it gets dark, so I just hope that we can recover her. Well, we gave her 2.5 hours, went back, watched the footage, and for sure think got one lung, possibly even two. Not sure when she stood up there after I shot. She stood, ran out of the food plot, and then stood there at 60 yards for about 15 minutes, and then we watched her stumble and fall over. So she wasn't bedded down. So hopefully she died then, but we just made it back. I just picked up my arrow, and the arrow looks absolutely perfect. I mean, it looks like I smoked her. I mean, there's no guts or nothing on here. Even though the shot looked back, the arrow was perfect. So we're gonna walk to where we last seen her, kind of creep up there. I'm pretty sure she's dead, but we're gonna kind of creep up there. She's up here about 80 yards away, so let's go see if she's dead.
Yep, right there.
Oh, yep, here she is right here. Oh yeah, she's dead. Let's go. A Ruckus kill. Let's go. Big O. Oklahoma doe, late season. She's big. We can see she had this messed up ear. This was the entry. Yeah, definitely double lunged her. A little high, a smidge back, but that's like the most lethal double lung. But, we're gonna flip her over and see where it exited, because we never did see that when she was running off. I guess it exited right there. Kind of back, but that's a big old chunk of skin hanging. Big O Oklahoma doe. Big O doe. With the Ruckus. I've been wanting to do that for a long time and kind of thought about it. And then Caden really came up with the idea here about a month, 2 months ago. He said that over Christmas break we should try to do like a throwback video. Pretty cool. I have never shot a deer with that specific bow. My first deer I ever killed was with a black Ruckus when I was 7. And it was a buck with the bow. And believe it or not, my dad has all that footage. He actually recorded that hunt. So here in the future, we're going to try finding all that footage and put a little video of 7-year-old Colby shooting his first ever deer. But kind of a full circle moment for me. I kind of said that when I was setting up the Ruckus to come and try to shoot a doe here last week, that it'd be really full circle, and it is. It's kind of hit me. Sitting here talking with Dash and Caden, and kind of crazy that I've had that bow since, got that bow when I was 5 years old. It was my first ever bow, and I just turned 22 here last week, so 17 years is how long that bow has been around, and it's been sitting in storage for the better part of 13, 14 years, just sitting in the cabinet. So it really speaks to the testament of how well Hoyts are made. I mean, 50-pound Hoyt Ruckus absolutely blew through this doe, and I just shot that bow for the first time in 14 years last week. So pretty solid testament to Hoyt and just the stability and structure that they build their equipment at, and I could not be more happy. This is actually the first doe I've killed in 2 years. I did not shoot a doe last year. We just didn't have very many of them. This year we do have a bunch. Last year we didn't, and we didn't have as many properties to hunt last year as we do this year, so kind of got more opportunity to hunt some does. And I mean, honestly, that's my favorite thing, is just shooting some slick heads with my Hoyt bow. But we're going to take her back to the house. We're going to put her on the scale, gut her. We're going to take some pics for y'all, and that's a wrap on the throwback video with the Hoyt Ruckus. So thanks for watching.